Dean Lewis with Trust Me Mate. Welcome back. It is the Country Viewpoint here on your colour of Country Life, Flow FM. It's time to talk about a new initiative, and we've got Cecilia Fitzgerald on the line. She's the Business Development and Industry Engagement Manager at the National Centre for Farmer Health. And we're talking all about the Shifting Gears program, the farm safety resources for educators. Cecilia, lovely to have you with us. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Alice. Thanks for having me on to speak about Shifting Gears program.
Yeah, we'd love to find out more about it because this is a fantastic initiative. We need to see more of them. So tell us more about the importance of farm safety. It's often assumed farmers are made aware of farm safety protocols, though, for instance, they're not really often educated about it. It's sort of passed on in a generational sense. So tell us about just how critical this is.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, agriculture is a hazardous occupation, and reports released by Safe Work Australia keep on showing that agriculture continues to have one of the highest proportion of fatalities of any occupation in Australia. And it's a real concern that safety doesn't always get the attention it deserves when it comes to farming. Through our work, we know that young people interested in a career in ag often grow up on farms themselves, and so they do tend to model behaviours that they are seeing from their family members, even if they're unsafe. And this is where things get tricky because the farm is usually also their home, and so it's not just somewhere where they're working and where there are strict safety protocols that they have to follow. And so that's where programs like Shifting Gears come in, because Shifting Gears is designed to be teacher-led to start important discussions about farm safety in the classroom, which is really crucial to raising awareness of farm hazards, their impact on health and well-being, so that young people can start to make a positive change in their own farm practices.
So I gather, one of the really convenient things that this does is for those who are educators without farming acumen, this is, the critical resource that they need now, whereas before it was sort of expected that they would have some base level of knowledge about the farm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, Shifting Gears was developed following an intensive period of delivery of a program called Gear Up for Ag. And what we saw and heard from teachers and students during delivery of that program is that there aren't many resources that address farm safety within the Australian farming context and that are suitable for teenage audience. So teachers were, they didn't know where to look for resources that were relevant and interesting and engaging for teenagers. So the sick videos and activities that our team has created really connect safety concept within the farming environment with human health, rather than just focusing solely on the why you should or shouldn't do something from a regulatory perspective. And so we've also created some animations that are engaging, to convey farm safety theories that are tailored specifically for the farming context, the Australian farming context, and that are relatable for teenagers.
Yeah, and that's a really critical point too, because it feels as though, this is me looking at it from the outside, but it feels as though educating young audiences about farming protocols, perhaps that's perceived to be as kind of dry content for audiences of that demographic. So the fact that you've taken that approach is obviously what is needed to captivate that demographic.
Yeah, look, and unfortunately, it's reported that about 15% of injuries and deaths that are occurring in agriculture involve people under the age of 15. So again, through programs like that we deliver at the National Centre for Farmer Health, we know that kids start doing work around the farm from a young age. They're often working with large animals and farm machinery, which puts them at greater risk for injury. But what it is pleasing to see through our programs is that they are saying that they do care about their health and safety. And so programs like these, like Shifting Gears and Gear Up for Ag, they really, through these programs, the students are encouraged to start conversations about farm safety with their families.
Cecilia Fitzgerald, the Business Development and Industry Engagement Manager for the National Centre for Farmers Health, speaking to us to get our Country Viewpoint program underway on this Wednesday. We'll continue this conversation with her right after this. Stay tuned. Max McKenna with True North, and welcome back. You're listening to the Country Viewpoint on Flow FM, and I'm speaking with Cecilia Fitzgerald. She's the Business Development and Industry Engagement Manager for the National Centre for Farmer Health, and we're talking all about the Shifting Gears Resources Program, which is designed specifically for Australian agricultural educators, and it'll be free to download in January 2024 from the online safety shop there at the National Centre for Farmer Health. Cecilia's back with me. Now, does this resource touch on dealing with the latest technological advancements with regards to machinery and other tools becoming available to those in the industry?
Look, the program provides 6 videos and corresponding activities that teachers can put into their classroom activities and discussions. The topics include things like what it means to work in ag and some health statistics. And the beauty about this program or this particular topic is that we can start talking about all of the different aspects of farming, and there are many different things you can do within farming and that you can love about farming. That's one of the topics. We're also looking at another topic is agricultural exposures and hazards, and this topic makes that connection between that safety concept with human health and the flow-on effect of poor farmer health. And then we also have prevention strategies, including use of the hierarchies of control. So the program doesn't necessarily specifically touch on those, technological advancements from machinery or other tools, but what we're aiming to do is to give teachers and students an understanding of how they can identify a hazard, what they can do to prevent injury, and the impact that this can have on their health and well-being, so that hopefully when they're going into agriculture and into their career, they have an understanding and knowledge that will help them to manage new and emerging risks.
All right. Elaborate more on how the program is bridging the gap between agriculture and horticulture studies and the National Skills Program.
Look, as we've touched on before, there aren't a lot of resources available for teachers to use when they're talking to students about farming and what it means to be working on a farm and what it means to be safe on a farm. So that's where we sort of talk about it's bridging the gap. We are talking to students, or we're creating content that connects farm safety concept with human health. Again, not just focusing on the dry regulatory, compliance stuff, but we're actually bringing sort of that real meaningful and relevant content so that students are excited to work in agriculture as well, because, it is an exciting and a thriving career.
Now, just more broadly, in many ways, it's a critical point in time for the ag industry. There's huge workforce shortages plaguing the industry, and immigration is not a long-term answer. So how crucial is it to target young audiences in the general promotion of the agriculture industry?
Look, it's really, really important. Agriculture has a lot of rewarding careers and career paths. But we need to make sure that when young people are working in agriculture, we want them to care about their health and safety. So, young people are the leaders of tomorrow. So we've got to give them the right tools and knowledge so that they can start to steer a future where health, well-being and safety is prioritised, so that agriculture can continue to thrive and be a really exciting career to be a part of.
Cecilia Fitzgerald, the Business Development and Industry Engagement Manager at the National Centre for Farmer Health. Really do appreciate your time and your insights. All the best with everything, Cecilia. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ellis.
Cecilia Fitzgerald is the Business Development and Industry Engagement Manager at the National Centre for Farmer Health. And it's great to have had her on the show today. We've got plenty more coming your way, so don't touch those dials. Back soon.